I'm sorry. I'm trying to get in my I'm trying to get in my live, but apparently okay, there it is. I am a little late. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. But I had to switch blankets because this one has to be done, the other one doesn't. So we are on a new blanket. Sorry. But at least now you guys will be able to see me change colors, or I could show you how to cast on, because it's basically the same thing. When you're changing colors, it's like casting on to your blanket. And I am working on the blanket where I broke the peg on the loom. So this is a totally different loom from the other blanket. Oh, the internet don't start doing this to me today. Look like my internet was loading, so I hope it doesn't do that today. It was acting up yesterday. At some point, I might have to buy my own internet thing. I had to do a Carolina Panthers baby blanket, so I had to put the other blanket up right now. The other blanket is gonna be so out of season. Hey Ruby, how are you doing this evening? Sorry y'all, dropped that in. I need to kind of watch my battery because I didn't charge my phone today at all. So there's that. And I'm hoping that I get enough charge just to have me last. I have a battery pack that I'm using. That's good. You're doing good. I need to turn my umbrella light around. My light is directly in my face and it's bothering me. Uh-oh. I snagged that yarn a little bit. I forgot to put my other break on. I'm making a Carolina Panthers baby blanket. Oh yeah, y'all don't have to tell me if y'all just got here or not, cause I definitely know, I understand that a lot of people come in and out, so I don't mind saying it repetitively. That doesn't bother me. I'm used to it. But yeah, that's what I'm working on, a candle Carolina Panthers baby blanket. Thank you, the bee. But yeah, I don't mind. I know some questions might be repeated. That doesn't bother me. computer just stopped making notifications right now. And this time I'm counting stitches because I'm doing like 6 stitches for the white, 12 for the 12 for the blue, and like 16 for the black. And I was trying to do 5, 10, 15, but I don't change colors on my uh, odd rows. I don't change colors on my E-stitch rows. I mean on my pearl stitch rows, because it shows the other color showing through the back of it. So you'll be able to tell. Like, of course you can tell when you change colors, but it's less obvious on an E-stitch row. So the only time I change colors is on this end of the blanket, because you can't see the obvious color change. You know it's been changed, but the stitches don't look like, I changed color. I can kind of show you guys an example of what I mean real quick. Because I got a blanket that is kind of, this one I was getting rid of. Did I do it on here? No, I didn't do it on here. I thought I did it on here. Well, either way, like, let's say I changed colors right here. The black would show up right up in here in the mix of the yellow, and then it'll change to black. So that's why I only change colors on a certain row. And that's like a real old blanket, so I wish I had the one where I had it where it looked. But I've since given that blanket to someone else, so there's that. Let me see if my internet is moving. Why is my internet doing this today? It's not acting up on here. It's just maybe the family is on. I need to refresh it on my computer because I'm trying to see on the screen. And now I can't see the chat. Yeah, they help out a lot with the pain. I have arthritis and a pinched nerve, so it helps a lot. Um, there have been also been times where I wasn't wearing it and I could feel the what's the thing? I can't think of it right now, but I've had my pinky finger tingling, and so when I put them on, it helps out a lot. It keeps it from doing it. So it helps out a lot with the strain and picking up the loom a lot and all that stuff. And then I got this, so that helps a lot too. Thanks so much for the likes. So I'm doing on the ends. You guys don't see me put the pegs down right there because I'm doing a garter stitch border on the end. Excuse me. And when I start this row, when I go this direction, I'm doing the purl stitch at the beginning and at the end for the border area. Definitely, it's really relaxing. She cooks roast. It's very relaxing and therapeutic. Awesome, Jonathan. I crochet on the side too. This is the longest period I went loom knitting. So I haven't. I take that back. I crocheted on. Yeah, this is the longest period. The so far the past couple of months. I went 3 days without crocheting, and like that's very different. That's very different for me for the past several months. Awesome. As far as I do, as far as embroidery, I've just done a little cross stitching. But that's about it. Never like any actual embroidery. So what I'm doing in this area keeps the blanket from curling. So it's a necessary evil. The only thing I know how to do when it comes to sewing is professionally sew a pillow, and I've sewn an apron before. So that's about it. I've tried to get back into sewing, but someone broke my sewing machine, and so that was that. Like I couldn't advance anymore on that, but because I don't necessarily know how to fix the sewing machine, so yeah, they definitely are hard to come by. But there are a few lefty loomers. So there what you the basic things that you need to know. There are videos for it. But once you get past the basics, it'll be like very easy. No, you think they're expensive? I'm a very cheap person, so I don't know. And the only ones that I've seen that are really expensive are Cindy Wood looms. Cause right now this loom is on sale for like $40. I'm making a Carolina Panthers baby blanket, and this is the cheapest it's been since I've been buying them. When I first bought this, it was like they were $60, and then they dropped down to like 50. But I've seen them on sale for like 29.99 and 39.99. So yeah, so the ones I think you're talking about are Sandywood looms. They typically go over 100. These I find them on Amazon. So this is a KB Afghan loom, and you can find it on Amazon or knittingboard.com. That stands for KB. And then I have like a lot of other looms. They're like $24, or they're the ones I find are pretty affordable. Awesome, Jacqueline. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, because then if you go to Joann's, you can use a coupon. So that's the awesome thing. And I think someone was saying that they were on clearance at Joann's. The I think it was last week. They were saying they were on clearance for like that price that Jacqueline stated. Awesome, thanks. Yeah. So yeah, they're pretty affordable. It just, I guess it depends on the brand you're looking at. Yeah, I would start with a round loom. They're the easiest to start with because the stitches that I'm doing now would be the only thing. When I just wrap the pegs, they would be pretty much the only stitch that you would be using to make a hat to start off with. The only complex thing after that would be trying to figure out how to do a flat panel. And you can do a flat panel on the round loom too, so it can all be done. Hey, Amethys, how you doing? So the row I'm getting ready to do now is all E-stitch, and that'll be what you would do on a round loom, except it will be continuously. Right now I'm doing a flat panel, so it's like I'm just gonna, stop and go back and forth. But on a round loom, which technically this is a round loom, it's just really huge. And it'll just, you know, you'll just go continuously. Tired. Me too. Me too. I've been in bed all day. I haven't gotten any work done. I don't know if it's the weather or what, but it's been like the past 3 days. I've been finding it very hard to like get out of bed and be motivated right now. So I don't know if it has something to do with the weather, because I don't think I have seasonal depression, but I have depression. But I work through it, of course. But yeah, so that's kind of how I'm feeling. What's going on lately? So I'm just mustering through it. I don't know. Well, they always have coupons on online, so I'm not sure if you would have to go that far to get them. I'm sorry, Sharon. I have no idea what HL and HB mean. And then I've been in like a ton of meetings, and like I'm starting to think it's like my social meter is just like very, very low. Like my energy is just like really low. But I always say that Loom is my therapy, so this helps out a lot. I'm gonna need to move that battery charger cord because I don't want to keep bumping it and it makes noise. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'll try vitamin D. I'm Hey Mary Beth. I have arthritis and I have a pinched nerve in my shoulder, and I have arthritis in my hands, pinched nerve in my right shoulder, and arthritis in my neck. So the it's kind of like the elements of them all going on with the whole wrist thing. So that's why I wear the wrist thing. Hi Tony. So yeah, it helps out a lot. I had a something for my elbow to kind of help it go up the arm, but I don't right now. I don't know what I did with it. Thank you, Elizabeth. Elizabeth, it's that to me it's easy to pick up, but I've been hearing a lot of mixed views on that the past um several weeks. So some people it's like easy to pick up and some people it's hard. So it's like 50-50. Yep. Mary Beth, yes, because this is a custom and I have to get it done. So there's that. So I had to put the other one down. Hi, Rizzle. My day, my day has been, I've had no energy for the past 3 days. So I've been struggling to get out of bed and, get things done. I'm 36. This thing I made it. You can get it from Amazon or I got it from Home Depot, like all the pieces. It was like under 50. But I've had an onset of arthritis since I was about 18. But yeah, it just like the past, I think it was 2018, it just got really worse. Like it was in my neck. So for about a month, it had something to do with a pinched nerve. And then it just trickled down after that. So, you know. Thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth. Somebody's dog, the neighbor's dog is barking. Because I know it's not mine. He's in the house. We get the neighbor's dog barking on live, and we get the train. And a little bit earlier, I heard the tractors going, but I think they've since been went in. I've thought about it. No, I'm in Arkansas. Like my people are on like typically TikTok and Facebook. So when it comes to like loom knitting, a lot of my loom knit projects come from my TikTok people because they're used to me they're used to me looming all the time. Yes, there's a video on my channel on how to start. I like this sticker, Stephanie. I'm making a Carolina Panthers baby blanket. I also have to make some baby booties to go along with these. And if I have enough time, because I'm on like a very strained time crunch, because I've been behind on getting stuff done. But if I have time, I'm gonna do like a baby beanie to go with it. I think it'll be on it right. Arkansas. Thank you, Shia. Shia. I swear. I swear, Amethyst. And one of my pegs is broke too. It's technically not broke anymore, but I had to fix it with hot glue and I broke it like literally yesterday. So there's that. So I'm trying to be extra careful in this area because I had to put what is it? Super glue on it. So I'm mustering through that too. Oh yeah. I for that one I tried to go really slow. It's a live replay. It's like one of my oldest lives replays. So there is one on there that's actually starting. But I'm trying to get ready and start making shorter videos on how to get it started. Cause like that video is like almost the blanket from almost. No, it's not from start to finish because I couldn't do one this 3 hour start to finish. But it's like the beginning, and I think I put on, I did some change in colors in there. I can't really remember. I should be counting this. I'll just count it after because I'm not that far behind. Yep, I've tried a Centro. The knitting machines make me angry. Because I hear a lot of people like, oh, I did a hat in like 30 minutes to an hour. And I don't put the drill on my Centro. And I also have it added too. But I don't put the drill on them. And so it takes me like 4 hours to make a hat to on the Centro to try and keep it from constantly dropping stitches. So, and I've heard that probably making a blanket would be faster too, but for me, I have to make like so many panels and sew them together, and I don't know. I've never. I'm like a start and stop person. If I stop, it's gonna take me a long time to start back up. I said I was gonna count this. Let me count before I push the rest of these down so I can keep up. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I need the 5, 6, 7. That's how many sticks. Right, the drill is extra, and then the not only that, the the knitting machine is like 60 itself. And then if you break your knitting machine with a drill, that gets rid of your warranty. So you lost your warranty if you break it with a drill. For me, do you have a wrapping tool? That's the first question I asked Duncan. Do you have a wrapping tool? Thank you guys so much for the likes. Because I feel like the wrapping tool solves all my tension issues. Then, if you do, what I do is wrap faster. So, um, I'm gonna go on a whole like spiel about um. Yep, it was mine was like 60 some dollars when I got the Centro. So I'm gonna go on a whole spiel about these pins real quick. Okay. So this is just this is what I typically use, but right now I don't know where all of them are. So I have like 6 of these. So this is my favorite thing to use. This is a let me wrap this first. Let me finish wrapping this off so it won't so the yarn won't jump back off before. Thank you, Elizabeth. Let me finish wrapping this and then I'll show y'all real quick. I'll go on my little tangent. I always do about wrapping tools. Because every time I say, use an old pen and then others suggest straws. So I'm just going to go on my spiel about the whole thing. Oh, I love you too, Tara. I almost lost my hook thing. Okay. Hold on, give me just a second. I promise you, it's gonna be like, I'm gonna go on like a whole spiel about it. Okay, so I got that knitted off right there. Okay, so what you see me working with is um, a boy loom knitting pen. So this is like an official loom knitting pen. Okay, it is not my favorite. So, but I do want to point out that this end, to me, others will say like the number 5 will work, but I just feel like smoothly when you're controlling tension, this is not a very good way to control the tension with anything 5 weight yarn or thicker. So I suggest if you're gonna get this one, it's really just best for number 4 yarn. That's just my spiel on it. And this part right here is supposed to be for tension control, but I hate it. I don't like it at all. Okay, so I never run my yarn through there because it makes the tension even tighter. It came with a little hook thing right here, but I've since lost it, and that was like the best part of the pen because it made it easier for you to thread the yarn through. But you can take like a tapestry needle, shake it down, and get it down through there quickly too. Okay. So, and then some people suggest straws. Well, with a straw, you typically have like um straws are kind of like typically just this one size. So I'm not crazy about straws because I have a sensory issue thing. So I don't like the way the yarn rubs up against the end of the straw. So that's another thing about this one. It's very smooth. So when wrapping it, there's no scrubbing. So yeah, it's a whole thing with me about the scrubbing thing. Okay, so with this is an old clicking office pen. So, I didn't spend money to like get this, or it's just lying around the house. The difficult part about using the old clicking office pen is that they're hard to take apart. So, with a straw or with this, you don't have to take it apart. But with this, it's going to be really difficult to take apart. Some of them are. And the other thing is, when I work with this one, it's already, since it's a pen, it's small enough for my number 4 yarn. But when I take the tip of it off, now I can use number 5 or number 6 yarn. So I can't patent it, a lot of people use it. Yeah, very neuro spicy. Cause that's my whole thing with the gloves too. I cannot wear gloves because I don't like the way they feel in between my fingers. That drives me nuts. So I have to wear fingerless gloves, and I don't use the Velcro ones because they snag the yarn. So I wear these for a particular reason too. So I'm not a glove person. Like just thinking about the gloves in between my fingers right now is really bothering me. So so that's my spiel on that. So if I take the tip of it off, I can use number 5 or number 6 yarn. If I put it back on, I can use number 4 or number 3 or 2 or whatever. So for me, especially if it's a pin that screws off at the end, it's just very versatile for me. So that struggle with taking it apart initially is like, fine, long as I get what I need to get after the fact. So that's why I always suggest just grabbing a pen. You should have one lying around the house, especially when they run out of ink. And that's something you don't have to pay for either. But it's gonna be a struggle getting it open. Like I have a straw that came with another knitting machine. I mean, with another loom, and I only use it when I do number 7 weight yarn. So I'm using a number 4 tonight. Typically on this loom, I will not go thicker, but I've seen others that do. They do a number 5 or blanket yarn, number 6 on here, but I can't do that. I don't like having to adjust for tension every time I work on something. So I just pretty much stick to what I'm gonna stick to. I have the green loom, I'll show y'all that real quick. So when I use anything thicker, I have this loom. I have this loom for that. So when I do like blanket yarn, I rather put it on here, which is this one is kind of annoying. By it's really because of the way it's turned. I'm used to working this way. This is my favorite one, but for convenience and want to use thicker yarn, I use this because the gauge is wider. So, I can't stick my finger in between this one. But the gauge is wider. I can use number 5, number 6, or number 7 weight yarn on this one. And I use like number 2 to 4 on this one. I'm gonna put this back up real quick. But yeah, so I have one of the green ones because of the blankets tend to work up faster on the green ones, so I only have one of those. But since this is a smaller gauge, it takes more time to work on different projects. I have 3 of these. Yep, that's the one that comes in blue or pink. The one that I specifically have, it came from Michael's, but the way it's made, there's no oh, thank you, Elizabeth. There's no particular brand of loom when it comes to the green one. Like you can get it from, they're all pretty much to me the same. I have a tutorial on casting off. It's kind of complex to describe, but I have a tutorial on my channel for casting off. It's kind of like an older video, but I probably need to post some newer ones so that you guys don't have to search too far. But it's kind of a basic cast off, and it's a it's something I learned from an instruction booklet that came with a KB loom, and that green loom will come with a straw. So some of those infinity looms will come with a straw for you to wrap it. No, I don't count my rows. It drives me nuts because I will get lost. I would spend more time counting my rows than I would trying to get the project done. So actually me counting right now is like a pain. But I typically don't count the rows. I just measure up to a certain point. I measure this separate because I'm gonna do like I do a garter stitch. So I measure this separately, and then I measure the whole thing to figure out how far I need to get to. And that's pretty much all I do. I don't like counting rows at all. Counting drives me nuts because I'll be counting, and then I get distracted. I have ADHD, so I'll be counting like in the middle of just saying 5. I'll get distracted, and I'm like, where was I? So I spend too much on trying to make sure I'm counting right than the actual project, and then that'll frustrate me in itself. So I just go to a certain point and get out my measuring tape, and then I'll tell myself based on the stitches. I'll say, oh, I need about 20 more rows, and then that's when I kind of start counting. Uh-oh, we missed a stitch. Okay, so this doesn't always happen, but it's good that it happened on live. Awesome. Hey, Star. So I'm gonna show y'all. I missed a stitch right here. Where is it? I know I'm not seeing stuff. Okay, missed it right here. I missed a stitch right here. I forgot to put the second stitch on. So what I'm gonna do is take, I'm gonna borrow it from the other stitches. I'm gonna try to take those off real quick. And you want to be very careful doing this because you can make all the stitches jump off. Okay, I think this is good. All right, so we're gonna borrow from this area, and I'm gonna kind of tug on those to borrow a little bit more. All right, so we're gonna go back and wrap it again with our hand. And I gotta be careful not to pull this too tight because I'm using my hand. All right, all right. So we got a little bit more. I accidentally put that over there by mistake. All right, so I'm gonna take this, and the main thing is to make sure that the peg just ends up back. It still feel like I don't have enough. All right, this should be enough. I'm gonna take this and put it back after I just made the last one fall off. That's the only thing about it. Just trying to make sure. Okay, I know what I need to do. I need to put this right here. So let me put this down. I typically put this down to like keep the stitches from jumping off too. We are not going to do this tonight. To me, they're pretty much all the same. It just for this one, I think they'll all work for making a flat panel. They just become a little bit more tricky for round making round projects on. I haven't had to do this in a minute, so it's kind of like throwing me off. We almost got it on there. All right, so now I'm gonna go back and kind of make sure it's kind of loose in this area because I don't want to break a peg. I already got one broken. I'm not trying to break another one. So this is just me loosening those up and move that. Trying to loosen this up in this area. So when I go back around, it doesn't want to add too much tension. All right, we're back on the road. Now I will um so my brand of looms that are my favorite is for small gauge looms, which this is what I'm saying is a small gauge loom. Are KB, and wide gauge looms are Michael's Loops and Threads. So those are like my preference of looms. I would either buy from KB or Michael's. But that Michael's loom, the green Michael's loom that I was just showing y'all, there is no preference for infinity looms. I feel like they're all pretty much the same thing, and there isn't really one that's better than the other. Ah, okay, you would just rather do pearl stitch. I don't blame you. But I'm so particular when when it's for someone else. Now, if it was my blanket, I would have just figured out an easier way to fix it and just keep going, and just be like, oops. But when it's someone else, I try to make sure I stick to, you know, trying to make sure I put the best thing out there. That's the only reason why. And then it was so tight that stitch was very tight. That was in behind it. All right. But yeah, if it was a gift, I would have did the same thing that you're saying. Like I would have found an easier way to fix it. Cause I'm like, it's a gift. They should be grateful that I spent a whole lot of time. But I'm glad that rarely happens to me. I haven't done that in like a really long time. I haven't skipped a stitch in a really long time. All right, I didn't count something. Let me see where I'm at. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. That sound right. Eight. That's where I was anyway. I'm starting to think I should have just did this all E-stitch and then went back and did a crochet border. I think that just would have been faster. Because I've done that one time. And I'm a very like OCD crafter. So if the color doesn't look right, I'll redo it. Like even if everything is right, if the color isn't it doesn't look right, doesn't match, I'm gonna redo it. So I gotta get the color right on the first try. Or if I feel like it doesn't look right, it doesn't look like what it looked like in my mind, I will redo it. I've tried making paper beads a long time ago. I want to get into that like really badly. I thought that was so cool. It's probably been about, shoot, 10 years maybe since I've tried paper beads. Hi, Melissa. I hope you're doing well on this evening. That's like my favorite emoji to use, like a hugging emoji. It's like lots of love, sending you hugs. I bet that is so relaxing. 'Cause that's a lot stress, less stress to not have to think about when you're gonna, have income to like buy your next thing to work with. And especially if you have some old magazines because they got plenty of color in them. You have a Zon wish list. Now I'm always interested in free shipping. Did I count that row? No. This is I just finished 9. This is 10. And I am that crafter. If no music is in the background, I'm that person that talks to myself. And as you see, I did answer myself too. So I will talk to myself and I will answer. I learned that self talking. I've done therapy before. Like uh I've been the person that was doing the counseling, and I've learned that a good self talk is always a plus. So I will like say stuff like, you know, ask myself a question and then be like, no, you didn't. Oh, awesome. Okay. That sounds fun. I never thought about wrapping them with thread. And I bet that makes them even more sturdy. Yes, I'm interested, Amethyst. What's on Zon? What type of products is on there? Okay. Okay. Cool. I dig random stuff. I really do. I'm a random person. I like being very random. Okay. I'm trying to remember. I go back one more. I go back two more times after this. That helps sometimes. Or, saying it out loud. I'm thinking I go back two more times, so I need to say it out loud so I remember. I'm doing a form of knitting. This is loom knitting, and I'm making a baby blanket. And right now I'm knitting off. Oh, it's totally fine. I understand. Sometimes typos happen. I don't take it personal. Uh-oh, dropped the pencil, the wrapping pen. Hi, Esma. Welcome, welcome. The train is coming. Train, train, train. Okay, that's 10. Oh, thank you, Amethyst. I try. Right now, they're in recoup because I was getting my nails done. Like, I normally don't get my nails done. And, like, before this year, I had, it's like I get my nails done every 5, 10, 15 years. And so this summer I went on like a nail thing, getting my nails done because I was trying to do something nice for myself. And so now they're in like recoup. Like they received so much damage from getting my nails done. I'm trying to find a better way to like have them look better without going through all that. I don't really like to have my nails filed on top of them before getting them done. No, that's not weird. But yeah, so they're actually in recoup. They've had some damage done to them. But they're typically, I typically get that compliment. But right now I'm just like they look so damaged. And maybe I just need to just keep them natural because I don't think I'm willing to go through that anymore. Like, go through getting my nails done. I'm such a naturalist, to be honest. I think that's just where that comes from. Thank you, Amy. How are you doing? Because I in the recent year I've stopped wearing a whole lot of makeup. I just wear lipstick. I still want to go back and try to do the get my eyelashes done, but my eyes always water when I get my eyelashes done. So I just feel like there's no point in that either. I just don't know. I don't know how other people keep it up. I personally cannot keep it up. But I want to do something really wild and free with my hair since I don't put color in it. Well, I got colors on the end of it, but I want to do some like really bright colors. No, I never. I don't. I don't know. Are you saying like on a weaving thing? I never tried weaving. This is pretty much all I do. I will pick up a loom in a hot second. I think it's because when I watch weaving, um, it doesn't. It's not that it's bad. It just don't really make sense to me, and so I don't really pick up a whole lot of things that I feel um like the I'm trying to explain it without it being like uh I'm coming off as very, what's the word, as critical about weaving. It's just that the way that it's done, my brain can't make sense of it, so I just will not pick it up. And it can be like, it can be completed, perfect, blanket made, rug made, whatever. But the way it's made, I'm just like, my brain is like, no, it cannot be that simple. I don't like, you know, if I feel like it's not simple as watching the video that I'm watching, I'm just like, no, that has to be harder than that. So that I think that's kind of where I am. I've never really got into like the weaving looms. Yep, that's often with me. That is often with me. If it's complex, like to other people, I'll pick it up. But if it's easy and it seems like it's too easy, I'm like, nah, that's a trick. That's how my brain is. Like, it's a trick. Like when I learned crocheting, it took me 5 years because I wasn't, my brain was like, it cannot be this easy. It has to be harder than this. So the only way I could pick up crocheting was I really wanted to make the plushies. And everybody says, "Oh, the magic ring is so hard." And I was just like, "Well, the chain, I was struggling with chaining. That's it, chaining." But when I picked up the magic ring, it was like, "Oh, makes so much sense. Now I can chain and everything. Everything just came together after I figured out how to do the magic ring." It was like, duh. It was not that hard. Okay, this is 11, I think. Yeah, 11. And I don't know why I just didn't rotate it around, but it's kind of like this pin and the yarn has been going under the thing. So my other problem is I'm a big creature of habit. So let me see how much battery charge I get that um since my phone, because this battery is gone. Let me put this battery on the charger, y'all. I've never tried single ply. I want to try single ply, but it's one of those things where I'm just like, that looks like too much work. But I want to make clothes, so not loom knit clothes per se, but I want to make clothes, and I feel like if I can crochet the if I can crochet the smaller with the smaller brand of yarn, that'll be better. Oh, okay. You're talking about like the woobles type of yarn. I have worked with woobles before. I made a llama. Okay, I think it's my last row. Right now, I don't know where the llama is, but I want to make a bigger llama, and I just wanted to do it in different color. I don't want to do it in white. Hi, Myra. I'm not sure what you're saying, but I can say I am working. This is a form of knitting. I'm trying to figure out what I did with this darn thing. This I don't know what I did with my llama. Now it's gonna drive me nuts because it's on my brain. I haven't seen my llama in a minute, but I've seen the other things I made with the. I did a lot of I think it was June or July. I did a lot of kits. Oh, they did. Okay, I didn't know that. Amazing. Yes, I do granny squares. I've done a lot of um, I've done some granny squares. This is my favorite one to do because it has a little heart on it. But yeah, I do granny squares, crochet granny squares, and I did a lot of those craft kits during the summer, so I'm trying to figure out. I don't know where a lot of them are, and this is something else I've crocheted. So I do a little crochet from time to time. But yeah, granny squares, I make a lot of those. Not the more advanced ones right now, but I'm working on, where is it? This is supposed to go into a granny square, so I'm working on that too. I need to look into that, Meethus, because I didn't know they came out with their own yarn. So yeah, this is the next granny square I'm working on. I've made like only like 3 or 4 of these. The problem is finding time to make them when when you got to put everything down because customs are random. So you got to put everything down and be like, oh, got to get an order done. Now, when I get to the black yarn, that's gonna be like kind of like the more difficult thing to remember to count. I bet they are fun. Ruby Z, you said they're a kit. Now, if I can find a kit to do real quick, that'll kind of help me sit down and do stuff. Sometimes I just don't like sitting up watching a video. I just need a break from watching videos sometimes. But if I can find a kit, that'd be nice. Hi, sifting some soul. How are you doing? Oh, okay. It's a sunflower. I made a couple of the sunflowers, uh, sunflower heads. And I like the versatility of granny squares. So I tend to like working with a lot of granny squares. So I'm just like, oh, it's easy to turn them into pants. It's easy to turn them into a skirt. It's easy to turn them into a purse. So I like gravitating to granny squares. But my most favorite thing to do is to make plushies, and that's because I know I'm gonna, the plushie is gonna have a smile on it after. So I'm such a kid at heart, a big kid at heart. So I like something to smile back at me once I finish. Oh, sorry to hear that, sifting some soul. I know that gotta be hard. Thanks so much for the likes. That has to be hard, hard, hard. I'm currently taking a break from crochet just for probably about the next week because I need to focus more on getting these loom knit projects out the way. She's a subscriber. Yeah, once I get these projects like these customs out the way, which they're starting to slow down now, thankfully. So I'll be pushing out more videos soon after this week. I got like 2 more towels to make, and this baby blanket, and two pairs of baby booties, and I have a crochet beanie to make that is Q dog thing. So I gotta get all those done, and it shouldn't take me that long. Hopefully, that's the prayer. That's the prayer, to get it all done within this week, because that'll be nice. Now the trick is to not overwork my hands. All right, so I'm gonna wrap this last peg, knit off this last peg, cut this blue yarn. I'm very certain this should be 12 rows. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. There's a certain amount that you can't go over, but you do have to submit taxes. I've had to submit taxes on it before you have to do the big dog stuff, but I don't think so. Mm, I'm trying to think of what you. Um, there. The I think it's like 4K, if I'm not mistaken. But I've paid taxes on things for lesser than that. So no, like, okay, so when you're running a business, you have to keep up with all the payments that you get, cash, whatever, and all that stuff. And then you turn it based on what you say, you turn that in, and that's what you pay taxes on. So you keep a log, you keep receipts, cause I keep receipts of like um me having to mail something. I keep all my receipts on. Most of my stuff come through, the payments come through PayPal and Cash App. So, and then they put a note in what it's for, and so that's the way I keep up with like all the receipt stuff. So technically, it is under the table, but when you go to pay taxes, you basically pull all that stuff out and pay the taxes on the back end of it. But if you're someone that is under the table, you report whatever officially. So I don't. And then you also have to have like a tax ID number and all that stuff, and it's a whole something. If you're like official, there's a tax ID where you can buy stuff in bulk and don't pay as much as you would going into the store. So it's a whole monster. And right now, um, I'm also making income from my social medias, and so all of those are being taxed as well. Let's not drop this pen. But yeah, it's basically what you would define as being under. I'm trying not to use that word. But like with SSI, you can of course make a certain amount um, of money before it's like you're doing too much. And I don't get SSI. It's just what I've heard. Now I've known some people to take um their orders only through Facebook. So and they, you know, that's basically how they go about doing things. Okay. Um, how about are you on any other social medias? Cause I will talk about this off offline. We can have a conversation about this offline. Like welcome to inbox me. And I know we can't really inbox on here, but I got you. Like inbox me. Mhm. Yep. Yep. Amethyst. I'm not gonna say it out loud, but yep. But like I'm technically like all of my stuff, like my income stuff is not under. So I I make sure my taxes are being taken out like officially through TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. And I've only made for Instagram. I've made some like one time on Instagram, so there's that. And that was like over a year ago. And I think. Excuse me, y'all. But I've heard. Oh, okay, okay, yeah, I got you. I understand now. But I'm gonna tell you the best place to like get like your inbox orders would be like Facebook and Instagram. I've had very few through TikTok, but most of them is like, you know, through Facebook and Insta. And this is what I'm hearing from like other people. So yeah, gotcha. Cause that's pretty much how mine's run. It's like mine is not the typical. prices of my competitors, and that's because I feel like the actual price that I could charge, and this is because of like my um the process I go through when I make things. So it takes me a lot longer than other people to make the typical thing. But anyway, I I get like the extra, like the stuff that I don't necessarily charge for. I get that from like my social medias. Hi, so Sab Sab Sabi. I'm sorry. Yep, same for me. Most of it goes to materials. So it's like, yeah, I'm basically paying for like my quote unquote therapy. That's the way I see it as. It's this is my coping mechanism, so I'm basically paying for that. I'm paying, you know, I'm basically just trying to like thrive mentally until I can get myself into like therapy like I should be. But yeah. No internet, don't do that. Don't do that. Trying to get it stop from rotating or loading on my computer. All right, so that's one black. Now this is gonna be where I get lost in the sauce. Black yarn, I don't care how I work with it, but I always get distracted, and I'm like, where was my count? It's a little bit more difficult to count after the fact. Yeah, I know. I have a friend right now that's going to therapy, and she's doing it through a scholarship. So I thought that was pretty cool. But she has a unique situation going on. So me, I have access to it, but the way my brain works, if it's too much work to like get it done, like get into it, because certain insurances only accept certain companies. So for me, it's like me having to dig for what my the number to get to it, and if my insurance will accept who I'm going to and all that stuff. So I'm almost there. It just takes me a lot longer if I have to put in footwork to get it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would have to like there's a portal that we have to go through, and so I'm trying to, and like you gotta dig all the way down through there to like even find it. So for me, if I have to do like so much work to like where my brain feels like I'm doing a lot of work to get to what I need, it takes me a long time to do it. And so I have to try to trick my brain somehow, or just muster through, trying to think of why it's important for me to do it. So that's where I'm at right now. Thank you, Mary Beth. That is where I'm at right now. I'm trying to be like, it's not that hard. It's not that big of a deal. With my brain, I'm just like, just do it. Cause for also like if I receive like too much information, at one time, like when I was in college. Like have just getting the syllabus is too much information for me. Like going over the syllabus is too much information at one time. I have to be given like small chunks over time. And I yeah, I'm I'm very certain that would drive me crazy because like y'all, my brain shuts down from having to do job applications. I probably just tucked it down in there. I created a slip knot and added it to the loom and just tucked the tail part down in here just to get it out the way. But yeah, it takes me literally like people will be rushing me to do like job applications, and there's so much information that I have to put in before it becomes like too much information. Even if it's like information I already know, it's just the whole thing of having to do like a lot of typing, a lot of yeah, it's it's a mess. And then I tend to mess up a lot of paperwork because it just simply applying for anything. It's like the my initial response, my brain reaction is like this is too much information. This is overwhelming. This is too busy. And then on top of that, with having to like carry like conversations throughout the day, that's like I go into like interacting depletion very quickly, like social depletion very easily. Uh oh. I have. I've fallen asleep. Especially if it's a solid color, I would fall asleep. row 2. I am too. I am too. I'm a night owl too. I do like no matter how much sleep I get, like I'm not a morning person. If I get too much sleep, I'm groggy. If I get not enough, no, I take that back. If I get like 2 or 3 hours of sleep, I function. But if I get too much sleep at night, I don't function in the morning. But yeah, I'm a night owl, and I've done it like a lot as a kid. So it's really hard to unwrite to undo that. Try to find my pen. I wish I could prepare meals for tomorrow. I wish I was a better meal prep person. I'm trying not to skip a pig like I did earlier. I bet it is. I bet it is hard to cook for one person. Cause most of the like the meal stuff that you would find is for like a family, and so then you probably need to do a little math to get it down to where it would last you for a certain amount of time, and that you're not eating like the same thing over and over. My son has ADHD and he hyperfixates with food often. So he'll go on this really long, like for a while, we had to eat macaroni almost every night, and now I can't really do macaroni. Like if you put macaroni in front of me, I'm like, no, no macaroni. Thanks so much for the likes. Awesome, Amethyst. I don't feel like it's nothing wrong with it because like if I were given the option to like because I kind of feel like it's we have to take meds to be more socially fit, but I personally don't see anything wrong with it. If I had the choice between meds and being the way I am, I would prefer it. Because I don't feel like I would be able to be as creative if I, needed the extra stuff. But I know as an adult, they will rarely give you anything to like, try to function in society. But And then I have some nephews that are autistic too. So yeah, we're definitely a awesome club of our own. I'm making a Carolina Panthers themed baby blanket. Exactly, Sylvia. Exactly. Save money for yarn. I'm not a big candles person, and it's only because of um of the pinched nerve. Like I get migraines from strong odors, so that's the only reason why I couldn't do the candle per se. But yes, yarn. I just went and bought yarn today, and the yarn that I bought, I did not go in the store for that yarn. I know that there was a possibility that if I would have left the yarn and came back, it wouldn't have been there. So y'all know how that is. We buy the yarn because if we don't, it will not be there when we come back, or there's going to be a very low thing of it. So I bought the yarn. For me, I have them, if they misunderstand what I mean, I'll just have them repeat it and apologize. That's about it. I've been doing this for so long. Like I haven't been going live on YouTube that long, but as far as the other social media with the two T's, that's what I usually try to say. I have been going live there since 2020, so I'm pretty much used to it. So I'll just, if I don't understand, I ask them to repeat it. If I misunderstand, I'll apologize and say I misunderstood that. Sorry, because for another thing, along with the ADHD, I tend to I'm dyslexic, so I will read a comment wrong often. So it happens to me often. I have to reread a comment like 5 times sometimes before I respond. So I either misunderstand or be misunderstood often. And this they're just, something that comes along with being live. So, there's no do over, there's no editing and all that stuff. I am like me before going live, I was like that. I'm very I'm a very sensitive person. So yeah, like before going live, I couldn't stand my voice. I couldn't stand see myself on the camera, everything. So for one thing, I put it out there. So we've kind of been talking tonight, and I kind of just I put it in there that I have ADHD, I have dyslexia. So it's kind of like, can you be patient with me, and I'll be patient with you, kind of thing. So it's always, I think it's just more so putting it out there first, and then they would be more understanding. Cause I also, because of the ADHD going on, I tend to like, I'll repeat, like I'll repeat, I'll repeat, like you know I repeat something like twice because I'm trying to get my thoughts together. So I'll do like some repetitive type talking. That's what I wanted to say. I'll do some repetitive type talking. So it's just, for me, it's a part of my life. So if you're here, you're here. I'll be quick to apologize if I misunderstand anything. Whatever. I do my best. That's all I can do. But yeah, typically I'm a very sensitive person. So I Trust me, I get where you're coming from. But the other good thing about live, since I said, put it out there, I don't like hearing my voice. I don't necessarily have to hear it until after the fact. So I'm like, well, they were communicating and conversating with me, so my voice couldn't have been that bad. But that's from trauma and everything. So it's a part of, working through your trauma too. Thanks so much for the likes. And like if I were on the other platform, I get to play music. So typically on there, I'm doing a lot of singing. So I'm giving you like a whole extra show over there. And I'm just like, so y'all know, I um I like karaoke, and so I just put it all out there. I think from to me, practice makes perfect. You just have They have to read more often, and sometimes it might just start with some doing like smaller books, more simpler books, and then kind of gradually getting into that. Because is my mother has quite a bit more. I don't want to necessarily say that it's like hers is worse than mine. I think she hasn't developed any coping skills for hers. So it's all about not only practicing to read more, it's like a coping skill to go along with it, because being dyslexia can make you really frustrated because it messes with you mentally. So not only are you like seeing like the words and numbers backwards, or you're seeing a totally different word, or to me, my brain is thinking faster than I'm reading. So I think that's part of it too. It's like my brain is like, my brain wants this word to come next, and I'm making this word come next instead of the actual word that I'm saying. So that's kind of how I make logic of it. So I practicing more would help, and introduce some coping skills when you're very frustrated. Because I find that since I'm dyslexic, it's harder for me to explain things. It comes at it When I'm explaining things, it comes off as if I'm reading something too. So it comes off mixed match, especially if my emotions are very high at the moment. If I'm in a very heated argument, and the dyslexic in me will make everything confusing and backwards and everything too. So it's a whole to me it's a whole lot of things that goes with being dyslexic. But that's why I also struggle with communicating with people, like my needs and everything, because I feel like once it gets to that point, and I've said like a lot of times that I need this, I need this, I need this, and it's not getting done, I'll get heated, and so now whatever I'm trying to convey now, it's really not gonna make sense for the most part. But yeah, it's really difficult for me because I feel like I communicate in a dyslexic way too. But reading books will help out a lot with that. And doing therapeutic things like this. And so also on the side, I play a lot. My favorite thing to do is play word games and also puzzle games. So I have no idea. I have no idea, Mary Beth. And it can be very therapeutic to watch it too. So I can. It's a ASMR type thing going on. So yeah. But I play a lot of puzzle games in my spare time and word games, so that helps me with my dyslexia too. And I struggled a lot more. I struggled a lot in college, so it would take me like 3 hours to study, like in one setting to go through like one chapter of a book. It would take me 3 hours. So I definitely know the feels. That's why when I say I try to do like paperwork and stuff like that, if it's not something that is repetitive for me, like paperwork, I do a lot. That is something like that's um overwhelming for my brain. If it's not something that I do often, I need to check my battery because when I got on here, it was only yes. I work too. I work too. Right now, I'm working a part-time job, and it's at a school. So, part-time as a sub. Now, at the beginning of this year, I was a full-time para, and that's a pretty word for teachers, intervention specialists, and sub, and whatever. Thank you, Sylvia. So yeah, I work, but right since I've um the summer was my last like full time job, and so I've kind of like taken on my I've taken kind of like my career in my hand because this is what I would rather be doing. But the job is the compromise because I'm married, so that's the compromising. Thank you, Pinky. I mean, hey, Pinky Hooks. But like the job is the compromise. So I work part time, or I go in when I'm feeling up to it that day, and this is what I do most of the time when I'm not at work. But I told them the maximum I do is like 3 days a week because I also have plantar fasciitis, and I've been trying to get rid of it for like a year now. The doctor said if I don't, I will need a very painful shot, and I'm just trying to avoid the shot if that's the case, because he said that's really on the option. So the only thing I can really do is try to stay off of it as much as I can. So, and I developed it because I was working at the school, because I was standing up on my feet so much. So between that and random migraines, it's just I'm making my way through. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I thought about doing Uber at one point when it was starting to like pick up and be booming. I thought about it, but my husband didn't want me to do it, so I went to work at the school. I hope that's is it an interesting fun job for you to do Uber? I had a friend that would do Uber Eats, or that I think her town had like a version of like Uber, but they would do food. Yeah, DoorDash. That's what I was. They were doing something similar to DoorDash. And she and her husband would like drive to make the deliveries. How much? This is one, two, three, four, five. I forgot to do the four. The row of four. I definitely don't want to miss a count on the black yarn because it just takes so long to try and go back and count once we get to a certain point. But the subbing thing is not bad at all to me. I'm used to the kids because I worked with them all last year and the year before last, so they're pretty used to me. So I enjoy it in short spurts. I had to get out of that all day thing because not only do am I with someone else's kids all day, I have to go back home and be with my kids. So. Oh, cool. Okay, Sylvia. Whatever works best for you. I don't think you're crazy. Sometimes you just gotta find your niche. Like that, like they be saying on social media, find your niche. If you're good at it, you're good at it. Don't break it. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. And I think that's pretty cool. Cause I know telling how many people you meet, how many new places you get to find out about because you're door dashing. So I stay in a rural area, a very small town country area. So there's not a lot of Uber and DoorDash going on where I live. Right. But yeah, we don't have a lot of Uber or DoorDash in our area, or at least where I stay. And I heard that Walmart has started delivering too, and we can't get Walmart to deliver to our area. So, that kind of give you an inkling. I'm not that far out. I'm like 20 minutes from all the Walmarts for the most part located around me. But they won't deliver. Somebody said they were the one, somebody said they were delivering to their city, but we can't get nobody to deliver where we are. Excuse me. Cause I swear, if I could get them to deliver, if I could get Walmart to deliver, I'll be ordering yarn a lot. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm hoping to finish this blanket by Monday. To be honest, like this has to be done like very quickly. I'm gonna be on it all day tomorrow. Like the other blanket, I hadn't really been on it because I've had to do a lot of crocheting. But I plan to be on this all day tomorrow, and Monday because I really need to get this done. And then the baby socks, the baby booties usually take me about 3 hours to do a pair. So I want to, be working on that too. Oh, okay. I see, Sylvia. Because my concern is because someone was doing like the order thing where you park and they bring it to you out there on the parking lot. And my concern was when they were out of the yarn, and we're very particular. We're very particular about the yarn that we're trying to get. So for you, for them, they were saying that when they ordered the yarn, Walmart was out of the particular yarn that they wanted, and so they brought them a different kind out. So I was just like, that probably won't work for me. Okay, Mary Beth, thanks so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a good night. Yes, I crochet too. Yep. I've done. Ugh, it's a lot. I got some more crochet projects I got to get done too. Okay, thank you. This is one of the things I had hanging off to the side that I showed earlier. Some of my crochet. But yeah, I do crochet on the side, and those are like most of my custom. Most of my customs come from crochet, and I've only been crocheting for about 2 years now, so I haven't been crocheting that long. But I'm at a point now where I can most projects I can look at it if it's not like a real complex project, like a whole lot of designs going on. I can pretty much look at it and be like, I can make it without a pattern. So I've gotten to that point. Yeah, I made a pit bull before. It was more like cartoonish, but I made a pit bull before. I made a lot of plushies. I made cat plushies and octopuses and all that, 3D hearts. This summer I was making a lot of those bucket hats, those crochet granny square bucket hats. I was making a lot of those, and I was showing that earlier too. So this is crochet. So I was making a lot of these over the summer, and yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, you Filipino? Cool. But yeah, I do a lot. So if I'm not looming, most of the time I'm crocheting. That's kind of how it has worked out. And this should be an even row, so we should be at 2 4 6. Mm-mm-mm-mm. cool. My sister just picked up diamond painting, and her son that has autism, he loves it. She was just telling me he loves it, and he's very meticulous about making sure they go on there in their correct spot, directly in their correct spot. I thought that was so cool. I thought about getting into diamond painting when they started, bringing them out, but I was just like, I got so much going on. At the time, I think I had just picked up crocheting, and then I had just let go of resining. So I did a little resin for like, about 5 or 6 years. And then I try to still do it every so often because I got something different now though. It's called what is it called? Hold on. It's called resin crete. It's like resin in the form of concrete, but it cures a whole lot faster. So I've been dipping in that. I want to do some wood burning, and I've been talking about that for about 3 years. I bet it is because he finds it really relaxing. I want to get into wood burning because I want to, for one thing, um, burn my name into this um, my lazy Susan. So hopefully I get around to that. But I know it's expensive. It's like the kit I was looking at cost like $100 and some. So that's why I haven't really gotten into it yet. That's five, six, six rows. But I always find myself when I'm in the store, I will always go. I'm always looking in the yarn section. So any other craft stuff I be thinking about doing, it all flies out the window because I'm like, ooh, new yarn. This is so pretty. Yeah, I learned a little bit of ceramics too. I took a pottery class in 2021 and I enjoyed it. The only thing I'm concerned about now is um I can't throw the pottery, the trying to think of what I'm trying to say. I can't throw it anymore because you're supposed to like throw it when you're making different things, and I can't throw it anymore. So that's the only reason why I'm not like trying to still do it. But I would like to like get me a table one day, and you also need a kiln too. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And I feel like you need one of those. So it's just always something extra you gotta get. But with the concrete, the resin-crete stuff, you just get like a resin mold and you pour it into it. I got something up here. I I made this, so I got like a resin mold and poured it into it, and it works pretty good. So I wanna get more into that, and I was planning on doing this as like a little candle holder. But yeah, so I've done a lot of different things, and right now I'm just trying not to add to it because I don't really have a lot of time to do stuff. But maybe I just need to pick up a cheaper wood burning kit and just let go of trying to get the extra special one. I think the cheaper one costs like maybe 40 or 50. 'Cause I know the one I was looking at cost like one something. Yeah, like yeah, any craft, it's a lot involved. I want to get into wood burning so bad. I've been talking about it for a really long time. It's like, do I want to invest the extra time that it's gonna take for me to learn it? Because I know if I could like get a hang of it, I could probably do it on some leather. So that'd be nice. And then I can start like, putting my name on leather and then sewing it onto my crochet or knitted blanket. So that's like kind of like my end goal. My issue is that I'm always trying to cut corners and do it myself. I have been looking online for, some custom tags or whatever, but I still would like to do it myself. I said I was gonna check my battery. Let me check my battery real quick. 'Cause I did not charge my phone before I went live. Oh, that's good. It's on the computer charge and I always worried that it's not gonna charge it right. It is doing very well. I've been eating too many acidic foods this week. Mm. Hopefully, I can get to white before I get off live because I got about an hour left. At 7. A paracord. I need to look that up. I'll make a note. I need to look that up. over there. Okay. That sounds like something I've worked with before, but I just didn't know it was called that. Because I worked with braided yarn before, or a fabric type yarn that's been kind of has some fiber in the middle of it, like it's fiber filled, and so I just always called it maybe some tube yarn. I don't know if we're and I've talked about making braided yarn too, because I had one of these, but the red heart yarn is really bad, and it's really stiff coming out of this. Because I was gonna use this to make to spell out some words for something else I was working on, and it was just so stiff. So you know, I wanted to make my own braided yarn. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. I know. I think I know exactly what you're talking about then. Have you used it? That sounds like something I want to like if I made a backpack because it's really stiff. I'll want it like um work with it to add it to like a backpack strap. Cause I've been working on a back. I ain't really been working on it, but I started on it like a couple months ago. And like I finished all the granny squares, I just was like, I don't know. I started to feel negative about it being sturdy. But I've since thought that I can just buy some what's that? Some satin uh lining that I found online and use it to help with the sturdiness and use more like thick cotton yarn. Cause they're cookies and cream, what is it, berries and cream or whatever, um, cotton yarn. I have used it before. I made towels out of it, and that stuff is very stiff. No, it's peaches and cream. That's what it is. That peaches and cream cotton yarn is very stiff. So I have worked with that before, and I wanted to make like a backpack with it. And I've been using. I use that plus. I love this cotton, and this cotton. I love this cotton. It's not very stiff, and it's very soft, and it breaks very easily when tugged on too hard. So I'm trying to get this done because I want to get started on some Burnett blanket yarn type blankets. And that's what everybody keeps asking me to do tutorials for. So that's what I want to get started. And they're not asking for that yarn in particular. It's the loom, the type of loom I'm using. I need to get that done. I try not to hum while I'm on my YouTube live. Someone that's acting silly with their car. Really? Dollar General? See, we had a Dollar General. I'm sorry, Baker Mom. Show toes. But we had a Dollar General, and they switched over to a they switched over to a grocery. So they don't necessarily carry um like any of the crafting stuff anymore. But this is about all the show I'm gonna do. This is where we are so far, or the showing of something. Is what I'm saying. Trying to keep this from running under there. That's what bothers me the most. Yeah, like I have to drive. Walmart will carry it, but Walmart won't carry like a whole lot of it. So there's that. So I can't like just be like, oh, I'll get up and go to Walmart and find a whole bunch of colors. And I did that today. And yeah, so I don't really have a lot of options either. Like the city I live in, there's like an old country store. It's not really much to talk about. And then the city that I was born in is like 10 miles from me, and all they have is like technically they have four stores, but I'm saying like the major stores they only have two major stores, so that's Family Dollar and Dollar General. And then like the next neighbor in town on the opposite direction. So instead of going like west, that's where I live, where I used to live, and going east, they have like a lot of more stuff there. They have like the Walmart now, not Walmart. I mean, not Family Dollar, but Dollar Tree. I the place I used to live has a Family Dollar and Dollar Tree together. And then like the neighboring town that I was talking about, they have a Dollar Tree that carries a lot of yarn, but it's not necessarily any blanket yarn. It's like it's like that suede yarn that you'll probably have to double up for it to even try to remotely be a blanket yarn. So I don't really have a lot of options either. And to get like a Joann's or Michael's, I have to drive about 40 miles to get to Joann's or Michael's. And to like I live near Memphis, I will not go to Memphis to get yarn. I feel safer going to like Mississippi. So I don't go in Memphis to get yarn. Yeah, I got about 30 minutes left. Oh, you in Nashville? Yeah, I tend to go. Do I go out in Nashville? I know I go in Millington. Um I'm trying to think. Out there towards Wolf Chase. Basically, I mostly go in Mississippi to like get yarn. Now I will go like the other. I will stay in Arkansas, but like that's still another 40 some miles of driving. So I'd rather just go to a bigger city where I know there's a lot of yarn, and I shouldn't have any issues with finding colors. But you know, to me, it's very relaxing. Emoji. It's very therapeutic for me. So it gives me a time to wind down and just focus in on something that's not stressful. Ooh, that sounds about right for sounds about the same for me, Peachy Pie. It takes me about 15 minutes to get to the nearest Dollar Tree. Me too. I broke a peg with that chenille yarn from the Dollar Tree, and it sheds bad. And if you have to frog it, it's just gonna turn into a pile of fluff. And I like the way their worsted weight yarn feels. So I do like Premier yarn. I don't really like the chenille yarn though. It's not like a if you mess up, you messed up. Like you can't like go back and feel like you can fix your project without like if you frog a couple of rows, just don't the yarn that you frog, you cannot put that back into your project because it's gonna be a mess. Right, Sylvia, you gotta make it worth your while. I got this loom from Amazon, and I bought them from Joann's too. And the reason why I'm saying I and Joann's because I got three of them, and you can get it from Amazon and Joann's. And this is a knitting board at or slash KB Afghan loom. Hi, Sophia and Hannah. Happy birthday! Of course, of course. It's always great turning a year older. I try to let people know that because me personally, I never really used to celebrate birthdays. But once I turned 30, I'm just like I have to celebrate me. So definitely, I'm going to celebrate someone else. I think I didn't count the last row. Okay, so this should be, I think this is 9. Please be 9, because then that means I'm closer to getting out of this black. Although I got like 7 more rows to do if it's 9. Let me see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Yep. Yep. It's very horrible when the mess up occurs. I also want to point out that if you're using round looms and you don't necessarily want to get this one, you can make blankets on the round looms too by doing the 10 stitch. So you don't necessarily have to have this loom to make a blanket, but if you're looking for something like you want the design to be specific, like the 10 stitch, I I want to try the 10 stitch, but I'm also not crazy about what I've seen the 10 stitch produce. So that's, one day I'll try it. I don't know. But with the 10 stitch, there's no sewing required or anything. So that's the biggest thing for me. I don't like making tubes and have to sew them together afterwards. So you can try the 10 stitch method and try to get a blanket that way. There are plenty of videos for it on YouTube. Cool. Now I'm trying to get ready and start a baby blanket on mine too. I want to do burn that blanket though. I'm not talking about this one. I have a long loom that I want to start a baby blanket on. Yeah, I got about 20 minutes. Okay. Are you doing? Sorry, excuse me. Are you doing like a? Are you? What type of border are you gonna do after? You can also, of course, do tube wrap and avoid all that too. I'm sorry. What's CFAA? Yes, I'm doing pearl stitch on the border on my end so I keep it from curling. So I'm doing like the garter stitch on the end. Now, part of me felt like I should have probably just went on ahead and did all stitch and then did a uh did a crochet border because that just would have been faster. I just wish I would have did that instead because it would have took me a lot less time to do it. I really enjoyed spending time with you too. Yeah, so I most of my blankets are made that way. I'll show you a couple more, but well, I'll show you a completed one. But yeah, I typically do like the garter stitch border, and it's like a big habit thing. So when I started this one, I think that's more so why I did it. But I wish I just would have did all stitch and then decided to like do a crochet border so I could get it done quicker. But I think the person that I'm doing this for would prefer, me just doing all of it the way I typically do it. So I don't want to shortchange her. So I was like, let's just, let's just go, let's get this done. Yeah, like most of the time, I found myself doing more crochet than loom knitting lately, but I'm thankful because I don't like doing the same thing over and over and over again. So I'm just thankful right now to be able to throw some crochet in there. I mean, not crochet, loom knitting in there. Like I've been crocheting like a whole lot for like 3 months, and loom knitting is what I started with. So I like to, I've been trying to get back to it more so than anything. It like felt like a year since I've almost a year since I've loom knitted. Thanks so much for the likes. Before October, because I started back loom knitting like heavily in October. I didn't push all these down. And this one, I'm bumping something. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna try to like get this done tomorrow. I really would like to get this done tomorrow. Hopefully, I'm in a better energy. I have better energy tomorrow. Awesome, Nick Nack. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for subscribing. I try to go live every Saturday for at the moment from 8 to 11. And the reason I keep saying at the moment every live is because I haven't figured out with work and everything how to like fit in some extra lives. Because back in the day, not on here, but the other place, I would go live like 3 days a week for 3 hours at a time. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and late at night every time. And that's 8 to 11 Central Standard Time. So typically, I'm making a baby blanket. I'm making a Carolina Panthers baby blanket. Right, exactly. I got a couple of other Canada friends, Canadian friends that I found on social media. So awesome, awesome. They've also told me about how much they pay for yarn, and I'm just like, wow. And I've stopped counting again. That should be 8. I think that's. Hold on. Let me not get a. I'm about ready to just circle, circle, circle. That is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It should be. This is an even row. So yeah, we're on 10. That is correct. There is the train. There is the train. You will hear the train often on my live. Oh, that no, no, no. That is not a nice price. I couldn't imagine because like the typical price for us is like $7 to $9, depending on what part of the state you're into. So if you're in the more northern part of the states, it might cost just a little bit more. But if you're the cost of living kind of varies from state to state. Kind of varies. Yeah, from state to state. That's what I meant to say. If you're in a big city, it's probably going to cost you more. Like gas, the gas prices are even different. Like $9 in the northern part, and we're paying like 3. I'm just saying those are the kind of differences. Y'all, I have about 10 more minutes left. I was hoping to get out of this black yarn before I got off the live. I like to see color change, but apparently that's not going to happen. Oh, okay, cool. Is it I guess it's more affordable than during the snowy season? I'm trying to keep this one rolling. Sorry. I know that can possibly be loud on camera. Oh, okay. Gotcha. That's all I need to do. I need my husband took like my first ever knitted blanket, and so he's like He's attached himself to it. So apparently, I need to make myself another blanket or while I work outside because I work in my shed and there is no insulation out here. I can't, necessarily afford to put insulation in here yet. So whenever it's hot, it takes in all the heat, and whenever it's cold, it freezes. So I need to make another blanket so I can, kind of heat my legs up while I work too. And then plus yarn is heavy, so I like that comfort you get kind of with the weight of the yarn on you. It's like having something weighted on your body. I got about 5 minutes, and this is gonna be my last row that I do on live. So I'm gonna like completely do this one. I normally don't like kind of really start a new one because when I'm in my last minutes, but I just want to go ahead and do this one. So if y'all hear like a knock while I'm on live, it's because my husband or the kids have come out to get me from the shed because it's really dark in our yard. Good night, Sylvia. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you and for keeping me company. I appreciate everybody for keeping me company on tonight. I think I'm gonna work myself tirelessly on tomorrow to get this blanket done because I really want to like be done with it very soon. I mean, the trains are just rolling tonight at this moment. They must have, like we'll say, they were one must have been on the switch track, and they needed the other one to pass. Yeah, this is Walmart yarn. This is Mainstays. Um, and yes, these gloves help. I have a pinched nerve and arthritis not only in my hands but in my neck, so it helps out a lot. And I've had some carpal tunnel scares in my pinky, and when I started using them, that quickly went away. And I haven't really had any issues since I've been consistently using them. And every once in a while, I get really hard headed, and I work without them, and I can tell the difference. So yeah, when my wrist starts to cramp up, I use them. and they're Neo G, and I got them from Walgreens and Amazon because I've ordered them multiple times. Because one time I snagged some of the stitches in it, and so it kind of loosened it up. So I bought multiple pairs, but these are my favorite pairs and the only pairs I'll use. And so I have a sensory issue, so I don't like finger gloves, and I don't use Velcro. So these are very good for not snagging your yarn. No problem at all. All the time. All the time, Bria. I'm always doing something new. Like I had to put the other one down because this one I supposed to been working on. Now that I think about it, I've done like a really naughty thing. I should have been working on this blanket on live because I've had the thing for 3 weeks. So my mind was not thinking. And the other blanket is not done because this one needs to get done. This one is like priority. So I should have started on this blanket like last week. But yeah, I am about to get off here. I'm gonna push these pegs down so y'all can see where we are. I'm working on a Carolina Panthers themed baby blanket, so that's where the colors come from. And I hope to not have this blanket on live the next time I come back. So, so we'll probably be on the other one, or maybe we'll be on like a blanket yarn to um to like work up something really fast. Yeah, it's gonna be a regular blanket. It's the length of a baby blanket, so it's gonna be like 3 feet wide, and I'm hoping to make it 3 feet long. But yeah, this is where we are so far, and it looks like it might be 11 inches maybe. Let me see where we are. Uh, I was close. It's about 10. I know that's a little over here, but it's about 10 inches. So I got about 2 more feet to do and a little bit more. And I just started on this yesterday. And I didn't do any work today at all besides this live. And I feel like, you know, That was very naughty of me. Thank you, Angel Dust. Thank you, Ange. And the loom, before I get off, this loom I got it from Amazon, and it's KB Afghan loom. So yeah, my wrists are itching a little bit. But I'm gonna get off here because I gotta get up for church in the morning. I gotta get two teenage boys up for church in the morning too. So I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope to see you next weekend. I hope to not be on this blanket next weekend though. But yeah. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me, and see you guys next time. You have a good night too. Thank you. Thank you, Bria. Good night, Anthon. Good night, Nick Nack.